In this video, I'm going to reveal everything about my first 4 years of dividend investing, how much I made each year, how much I put in each year, comparisons between the years, and things that I learned along the way. Let's get straight into the numbers. At the end of those 4 years, I've invested £57,964, but this just didn't appear overnight. Like everyone, I started at zero. Over the first year and 1 month of investing, you can see that I added £22,960. Back in December 2019, I did have some savings sat in a bank account doing nothing, and I'd recently been made redundant and received a severance payout. This is when I made the decision to put my money to work in dividend stocks and ETFs. I do have a beginner's guide to dividend investing video where I talk about why I chose this route, link in the description. The bulk of my early deposits from the first few months came from my savings and redundancy pot. Then from April onwards, I was just contributing what I could, which averaged around £500 a month, although there were a couple of months where I didn't contribute anything. Now let's have a look at the dividend income for that first year. The total received over the year was £543.46, and this averaged out to £45.29 a month. I do like to look back on this year quite frequently, just to see how far I've come. The difference between my first year and my last year is quite significant, but we'll come to that in a moment. Over 2021, the second year of investing, I was able to start adding a little bit more each month, and ended up depositing another £7,938, which was around £660 a month. What happened this year is that my conviction in what I was doing grew and grew. I felt more confident that this was the right path for me, so tried to add everything I could to boost the portfolio. And so I ended the year with £32,052 invested. In terms of the dividends, at the end of the second year, I was paid a total of £934.60, which worked out at £77.88 per month. You can see that the dividend amounts were growing and growing with the deposits I was making and by reinvesting the dividends, and I still hadn't taken a penny out of the portfolio. Then moving into 2022, my third year of investing, I was still making regular contributions into the fund. This was the first year that I invested into it every single month, depositing £11,091 in total, which was an average of £924 per month. This meant that I ended the year with £45,294 invested. As we can see from this graph, the dividends also kept on growing. I broke the £1,000 per year mark, with £1,379.71 received. I also broke the £100 per month mark, with an average monthly dividend of £114.98. This was really pleasing to see, and really motivating to keep growing the portfolio as much as I could. And you can see that I also had my first triple-digit dividend month, which happened 5 times over the year. Finally, in 2023, the year just gone, and my 4th year of dividend investing, I was able to keep consistently adding to my portfolio, with £10,877 deposited, or an average of £906 per month. This did drop slightly from last year, but I did have 2 family holidays, and this was the best that I was able to do. But I did have another record year in terms of the dividend income. I ended up receiving £1,812.15 over the year, which works out at £151.01 per month. A couple of nice milestones were the dividend totals I received in June and September, which broke the £300 per month mark for the first time. I'm going to compare some of the year-on-year numbers now, looking first at my deposits. The first year does skew the total a little bit, as this was when I invested the lump sum that I had for my initial savings and my redundancy payout. But from around 2021 onwards, you can see that I managed to deposit more regularly. This graph shows that I've been quite consistent in doing so, with an upward trajectory on the line, which is what I want to see continuing. Moving on to this table, showing my dividends received. We can see how each of these years compare month by month. It's nice to see a lot of the months getting larger and larger each year, and visually we can see this more clearly on this graph. What I like about this is that some of my high months in previous years have become a low month in the last year. All I want to see is progress and growth each year, And looking at the percentage growth in my total dividends year on year, the growth from 2020 to 2021 was 72%, 2021 to 2022 was 48%, and 2022 to 2023 was 31%. So positive numbers mean that they are growing nicely, but it does look to be slowing down at first glance. However, I think this is just due to the effects of the pandemic, where dividends were cut or stopped and then reinstated. So the numbers have been a bit skewed. But over the next few years, I will probably see a truer reflection of the percentage growth. Something I do pay close attention to are the dividend averages, and we can see from this graph how these amounts have been increasing each year. In the 4 years that I've been investing, this amount has more than trebled, which is just a result of increasing my portfolio size through my regular deposits and dividend reinvestments. For full disclosure, here's my full portfolio at the end of 2023, showing all unrealised gains and losses. However, it hasn't always looked like this. My portfolio has evolved over the years. Initially, I can admit that I was buying stocks like a kid in a sweet shop, and ended up with quite a large number of holdings. But you can see from this graph how I've reduced this down to a more manageable portfolio over time. I had 56 stocks in year 1, 46 in year 2, 36 in year 3, and finally 23 at the end of year 4. Some people might be fine with a large number of stocks, but I just found it hard to track what was going on in each company, and my monthly investment didn't stretch far around so many stocks. I am happier with the smaller size currently, although I might trim again in the future. I don't really concern myself with the market value of my portfolio, as it's my intention to never sell any of the principal to take out of the portfolio. But as I've just mentioned over the years, I have obviously sold some positions as I've trimmed down the number of holdings. In doing so, I've had some winners and some losers, but overall I've made just under 2k, which was just reinvested back into other positions. So what's next for me and my portfolio? I like a simple approach to investing, so more of the same, which is to consistently add to my portfolio each month and reinvest all dividends. My next milestone is to consistently hit an average of £200 per month. Over the long term, I hope to see these numbers carry on growing, and I will carry on documenting my journey with full transparency. If you want to follow along, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you found this video interesting and informative, and I hope that it's given you inspiration and ideas for your own personal finances. What do you think of my journey so far? And how is your investing journey going? Feel free to ask me anything else you want in the comment section below. I do read every message, and I'll respond to everyone that I can. If you have enjoyed this video, please like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss any future portfolio updates. Likes, comments and subscriptions really do help the channel out a lot. And on a personal note, I do find the engagement really motivating to keep producing this type of content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.